Hello, Sean Matthew Crawford here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a website for free for your band or solo performer. And this will be similar to Squarespace and Bandoozle, but without the monthly cost. This tutorial will require some technical skills, but I'll go ahead and guide you through each step. So just follow along, and once you finish, you're going to have a website that's online and you're not going to be paying every month for the service. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to pull up the website that will be what you see when you complete this. You've got your navigation, a new release section, which you could just put for anything. If you have an upcoming gig, you could just throw that in there. There's a little album cover I just kind of threw together. There's your events, about us for your band with some pictures and descriptions, and then a way to reach you with your footer as well with some additional information. So this is just, the outcome of what you're going to be using. And again, 2 to 3 systems you're going to use or websites. For one, you're going to need a domain, and then we will be using GrapesJS to actually build the website and to actually host your files for your website so the world can see the website. We're going to be using Netlify. So we'll go ahead and start out with a little information. If you do not have a domain, that's just something required for a website if you want it to actually be legitimate. So you don't want to have a website with an address that just says pretty much 125678.netlify.com. It just doesn't make any sense. So you need a domain. I use Namecheap. And for example, you can use this as a simple website for a band.com, right? That's the domain you want. You just go in here and search. And there it is right there. It's $10 a year almost. You just add it to the cart, purchase that. Unfortunately, there is no real way to get around getting a domain for free, but you can have a website online for free, and that's what we're going to do today. And then the next step is GrapesJS. So GrapesJS, again, it's a free and open source web builder framework. It's going to allow us to build the website today in the browser completely for free and export it, which will then allow us to host those files that we export from GrapesJS to netlify.com. It's a great hosting service, and they do it completely for free. And it's a simple drag your website files, drop it to Netlify, and your website is online, live for anyone to see. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go back to the website. This is GrapesJS. If you didn't notice, there is a preview icon. We'll go ahead and click that to go back into editor mode. And then on your left here, you've got layers. It's just a basic overview and layer of your website. If you hover over each layer, it will show you where the layer's content shows in the preview screen. On the right is the editing. You can change the style and you can change the properties. We'll get more into that throughout the video. And then if you see at the top, there is a view selector, right? So this is going to show you what it will look like on a desktop computer, a tablet, a mobile, and then it can even do portrait mode, which is, in my opinion, not very good. So we'll just kind of disregard that. That's what they're going to see. All right, so let's go back to desktop. And then again, there's the website. It's already built out. It's all good to go. And then if you want to preview the website, you click here. You can go into full screen. You can view the code of the website. You can import code. You can clear this entire page. And you can go back and forth. Right here's pretty important. If you make a mistake, you click that. It goes back and undoes what you did. And then this gear icon is really important for this, because we're going to be opening, saving, and loading projects. And then if you want, you can change the theme to dark and light. So let's go ahead and start over. We're going to load a project. And as you can see, this screen will show you different templates that you have already created. This is the yellow hats. That's already a completed project. I want to show you how to do this by yourself, step by step. So we're going to go ahead and go to templates. And we're going to go to this landing page right here that has the logo and some text already in there. And then we'll call it the yellow hats example number 2. Example 2, because I've already kind of loaded one up earlier. There we go. So we start out brand new with a fresh template. And the first step is we're going to just change this. We're going to delete this logo. And then we're going to use blocks. Okay, so blocks are with this little plus icon here on the upper left. You click that and it pulls up this additional area on the left, which shows you all the blocks, which are what you can drag into your website and use. So we have a link box remaining since we deleted the logo. So what we're going to do is we're going to want to put some text in there. And you just grab the text block and then drag it over. And then if you could see, there's a little green line that goes right above the text block. And that's where you click and let go. And then we're going to go ahead and put in our band name. All right, so we've got the yellow hats in there. It's not looking pretty, but it's okay. We can change that right now. Let's go ahead and get into that. So we're going to select that text, and then we're going to go to the right to typography. And typography just means font editing, basically. And then let's go ahead and change the font to, let's just go through a few, see what looks good, right? This looks okay. So let's try and bring the size up right here. Let's just bring it up and see how that looks in here. Make it a little fancy. Let's just say you're the Yellow Hats. Maybe you're a type of fancier band. Maybe you go play jazz or something. Let's do that. And that's it for the logo. You've got a free logo right there. You don't have to go pay anyone to do any graphic design for you. And then here you go is your menu, right? So this has about, features, and testimonial. We don't want that. We're a band, so we do want to know about the band, but we don't need to show you features of the band, right? We're going to change this to shows. You're a band, you play live shows. People want to know when you're playing. Testimonials, we don't really want you to see any testimonials from our shows. You know how it goes. We're going to change this to our contact. So we want people to be able to contact us for shows, to book us. And then over here, we're going to change this button. So this is a join waitlist. Let's change this to store. So people can buy our merchandise, buy our records. And then right here, this is what you would call a hero. This is just your first introduction to the website. And you're just kind of blasting some new announcement. Right here, let's go ahead and just put new release. We released a new album. And the new album is called Summer Lovers. And then let's throw in some type of engaging text. I like to put a quote. So let's say we release this album and there's some inspiration. So I woke up in the morning and knew, I'm not going to put you guys through this. Bear with me. Let me copy and paste that from over here. I knew I was going to write something about that time in California when I was 21. I was eating an ice cream cone and a lady came up to me and said, "Hey." I said, "Hey," back. I spent the summer in poetic love with this individual, my summer love. Anyways, moving on. We're going to put listen here. All right, listen here. Yeah, we want people to listen. And that's just going to be a link to go to our Spotify. We're going to go ahead and go back through and do all of our links later. Let's just get everything going. And then there's this placeholder image. We want this to be the new album release for Summer Lovers. It's very simple. You just double click on images in the templates and it will pull up a browser to add images. So these are all just placeholders. You can delete them if you want. I suggest leaving them up. That way you can double click on the placeholders to change those easily. And then I've already got a list of icons and photos. So here's the album cover. I suggest creating a folder for your website to house everything. So there's the album cover. It'll just go ahead and upload that, and then you hover over and click select on that image. And it'll go ahead and just replace that placeholder with your album cover. And again, this is just one I just kind of threw together. I'm a little proud of it. It's off the Oregon coast when I went on a van trip with my partner. Okay, so let's go to the next one. If you want to keep this and change it, that's up to you. I feel like we do not need a feature text. So I'm going to go ahead and click this. Again, if you hover over each section, it will show you the different areas you can change. And there's these things where it's called these column blocks. And you can add these in and it'll create a block. And then all you do is just click this and delete on your keyboard. Right, that is gone. And then here's another feature block. We don't need this as well. Just go ahead and select that entire block and delete it. What we're gonna do is this testimonial section has a bunch of great placeholders already in there that we can use. And we're gonna change this to about us. So we're gonna put about the yellow hats. I feel like there was something already in there. Okay, well, we're just going to put about us. That's fine. And then, let's see. I don't have anything to put in there. I don't want to put anything to kind of take up too much time. So we'll leave this placeholder text, but we will just kind of change this. I had some ideas. So this is Jamie. She is our singer songwriter, plays electric guitar, and makes a really cool sound, fills up the noise of the room. And then here's me, Sean. What am I? I'm the drummer. All right, and then again, for placeholder images, you just double click, upload, and then find the file you want. And then this is Jamie. Jamie is up on the moon. She's an astronaut. And then let's go ahead and double click my image, upload, and then there I am right there. Open that, and then select again. And then you've just got this perfect thing right here where everything just kind of is already coming together. And then here, if you want to edit this, you just double click in there and you can just change the text to whatever you want it to be. Right now, we'll just leave it as a placeholder to save time. And then you go down here, and this is a good one. It's for joining a wait list. It would be great for joining a newsletter if you want to set that up in the future. But we're just going to change this to contacting us. So we're going to change this to contact the, gotta spell it right. Yellow hats. Oh, I totally misspelled that. All right. And then, so this is to contact the yellow hats. We're going to put email us. I'll show you how to create an email link in just a second. And then right here, we can do something simple. Contact. Do follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And the yellow hats. At the yellow hats. Leave it at that. And then here, we don't need this logo. And then something simple you can also do is you hover over your logo you already have, and you click that, it duplicates it. That's all that little icon does. It copies and duplicates. And then you click the new one, and you can literally drag it down here, throw it in this, and there you are. You don't even have to put that in there again. We don't need pricing, so I'm going to click that, delete. We're not selling anything on this. The store will handle that for us. And we don't need the contact us because that's literally right at the bottom of the page. Terms and conditions, we'll leave that on. You should always have some types of terms and conditions. 2023 is our copyright, and we are the yellow hats. Okay. And basically, we're good to go with most of the website. And then the next step is creating an event list. If you're not playing shows, you could disregard this, but we want to have a event list. So let's go back over to our blocks section. If you do not see this part, make sure you're going right here at this little icon on the top left of the preview and click the plus sign. And then you're going to go ahead and grab just a one column and just go below the album art, and you'll see a green line go across the entire preview. That's what you want. You don't want it to show below the album art or right above the About Us, just fully across. What that'll do is create an entirely new section. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to create a heading. So click the H, heading, and then put that right above where it says column in the gray. And this is where we're going to create our heading, just like you see below About Us. We're going to do the same exact thing. And we're going to just put shows. And then you're going to go ahead and go back over to the blocks, and you're going to select text, click, drag right below shows. And we're going to go ahead and put our first show in here. We're going to put October 3 of 2023. A local venue here where I live in Corvallis, Oregon. We're going to put Old World Deli. All right, and we're going to use these hyphens to just kind of separate the information. Again, this is a very simple website. This is just to get you going for free. There's other ways we could do this, but this is the easiest, simplest way. And when it comes to a band's website, you just need to show the information. And then we're going to put tickets. And then this, they do free shows, which is great. So no cost for the attendees. All right. And then since we've got that, we're going to go ahead and go to this and just select the entire row, right? And then we're going to go over here to typography and the styles on the right. Again, make sure you've selected the entire row, which is kind of the block we made. So, and then go to typography, and we're going to align this to center. There we go. It's right in the middle. That's exactly what we need. So let's go ahead and just put some more placeholder. We're going to do December 12th, 2023. We're playing at Bombs Away Cafe. Okay. Tickets there are, they're like, what do they usually charge? $15. Cash only, right? And then let's show a link. Let's go ahead and do our first link today. We're going to do January 1st, New Year's 2024. Where are we going to be playing for New Year's? Let's say we're playing, we'll do Common Fields. That's an outdoor venue. That's freezing. Let's do Turn. And that's going to be, let's make sure we put where this is actually at. These are in Portland, Oregon here. And then the tickets. These are $10 tickets, $15 tickets here, right? So we want people to buy them online. Online here. So this is where we're going to have a link. Okay, so you're going to highlight this text. And then you're going to go over here to this little kind of chain link. And this is to create a link. So make sure you've highlighted the text though that you want to have the link. Because when you create the link, you're going to hover over this and it's going to create that little hand icon. And you can click that and it will take you to the website you link it to. So you're going to click this link icon. And then you're going to go over to the right and click properties. And then down to URL. And this is where it's going to take you to the website where you have the tickets online for sale. And then we're going to say this is on turn.com. Events, tickets, the yellow hats. Okay, so that'll go to the ticket website. And then let me go ahead and just update these really fast for these venues. This one's in Corvallis, Oregon. Make it concise. Corvallis, Oregon. And then we're going to go ahead and edit all of these links like I had told you. So if you click the About link at the top for your navigation, you'll notice right here, it automatically pops up to this properties. And then you'll see this element ID. This is what we're going to create our links through for navigation. And what will happen is, I'll show you. We'll change this to About. Make sure you do that though. From feature to About -section. And when you click this link, what it'll do, it'll automatically scroll the browser down to this About section. And then everyone can view your About section. It's all on one page. It's no more loading. It just sends them down. It's great. Okay. And then we're going to go to shows and we're going to do the same thing. Properties, shows section. All right. And then we're going to go to contact section. And then store, it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to go ahead and click this. Oopsie. And we're going to go here. And then we're going to, sometimes you have to kind of click around. You saw how I had to do that. It's not always showing up. If you select the text and stuff, sometimes it's not working. So just click around until it shows properties and URL. And then this is our store. We're going to go ahead and just use our website for my bands in town, for the band I'm in, Ida Jane and the Weekend Gardeners. Let's see. Oopsie. Hold on. Misspelled that. Yep, so we want that. Okay. Copy that. Paste that right in the URL section. So anytime you click this, it'll take you to the band's merch website, which is perfect. It works for us. And then down here, you've got this. Again, you just click right around the button area. And then you put, so this is probably a Spotify link. So we'll do Spotify, you know, artist. One, it's usually, it looks like that, you know. So whenever they click that, it will pull Spotify up and they can listen to your new album. And then the last one is we're going to go down here and we're going to change this email link. And then you're going to go to properties on that. Again, you see how I had to click a few times to get this actually to pull up for the URL. And instead of using a URL, we're actually going to go over here and we're going to change it to an email address. And we're going to put, you know, contact at the yellowhats.com. So this is a email form. It'll pop up the native email application. So if you're on your phone, if you're in an iPhone, if someone clicks this link, it'll pull up their mail application. They'll already have the email placed in there for the to field as contact@theyellowhats.com, and then they can send you an email easily. Most likely, you're not going to have the yellowhats.com email address. So we will just put the yellowhats@gmail.com. That's more likely since you're starting out if you're watching this tutorial. If you want the yellowhats.com email address, that's a little more detailed. I might make a video about that in the future. And then you can add a subject. This would just be website inquiry, you know. I don't know how to spell inquiry. Maybe I need to put a Q in there. Yeah, I think that's right. You're basically it. And then the next step, if you don't like how this looks, I like to add a little more color to it. We'll go ahead and click the background and you'll see here, the body is the entire website. And so just click at the very top left and you can see body. And then we're going to go over to styles. And then again, you see how it's just not pulling up. You just got to click around. Okay, there we go. And then you go to background. And we're going to change this gradient. We're going to do something fun here. We're going to go over here to gradient. And this is the left color. This is the right color because the gradient is going to go from left to right. And we're going to do more of I like to have it here. There we go. We'll do a little bit of that. You know, we are the yellow hats though. We're going to do a little bit of yellow. Let's get it more yellow. That's nice. And then we're going to do a little bit of a red. Oh boy. Go back to your gradients. And then what you do, see how I messed up? Just go up here, click back, and it fixes the issue. Okay, let's go ahead and go back to gradients. We want it to be yellow. And then we want the other color to be red. Oh my gosh, I keep messing up, guys, I'm sorry. Actually, I'm liking this. This is perfect. Just a little bit of yellow. And then we're gonna go down here. And this is looking okay. It's looking a little commercial. Let's go back and do the same thing. This gradient, let's turn it to from white. Let's put yellow in there. We want it to be yellow hats, you know? Okay. Perfect. Contact the yellow hats, back to yellow. And then you're complete. You can go ahead and click this preview eye, and then you can preview your website. And then you go and click it on the top left to close the preview. And then so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and finish up those links to go from the about. When someone clicks about, it goes to about, yada yada, goes to shows, goes to contact. So again, remember we already changed these. These have the about section, the show section, and the contact section. Let's go to those sections. So here's our about section right here. Click the block, the entire block. Remember, it's going to fill up the entire preview. And then you see the ID. It says testimonial. Remember, it used to be testimonial, and we changed it to about. We're going to change that to about section. And then we've got shows. Let's go up to shows. Click the entire block for shows. And then we're going to change that ID to shows section. And then the last one is contact. Click the entire block for contact. And you're going to go to type in contact section. Again, that's in the properties section of the block. And then the final step is just to export the website. It's already complete. So first thing is we're going to back up the website. So click the gear icon and click Save Project. And just save that anywhere you want. In your website folder, it's perfectly fine. So Band's website for free, I already have that with all of my placer images. So we'll just save that backup in there. And that's just a backup because if you go back to the gear, you can load the project, locate the file on your computer, and it'll pull it up as a backup. And then the last step on GrapesJS is we're going to go ahead and click this little icon right here. And that's going to pull up the actual code of the website. And so this is what you normally would be coding, but we're not having to code that. This is doing for us, which is great. We don't have to pay someone to do this. And then you're going to click export to zip. And then so it's going to save it to your downloads folder. And so let's go ahead and open your downloads folder and open that zipped file. Okay, and so it's going to export it as this kind of GJS export, and that's fine. If yours doesn't automatically unzip, it's going to be in a zip format, so right click and look on your computer. Some computers, if you're on Windows, it might have to be opened with WinRAR, WinRAR. I'm sure Windows will just open it automatically these days. Mac, there's archive utility in the unarchiver. Mac normally just auto exports it for you to a new folder. And then so this folder, it contains the website. That's it. So you can actually right click this index.html, right click it and open it with a web browser. So we're going to use Chrome. That's what we're using to edit. Actually, let's open it with Safari. There we go. And there's the website. Fully complete. I'm at a high resolution, so it just looks a little small. Okay, and so that's what we're gonna use as our final product. Isn't that great? And then there's your styling. You don't have to worry about any of this. It does it all for you. You just need to worry about having all this visible to you. And then the next to final step is just going to be uploading the documents. So you're going to go to Netlify. If you do not have a Netlify account, it's completely free. You just click sign up and then you just fill out all your information. I've already got an account, so it's going to pull me up to my actual screen. Once you sign up and just put an email address, fill in your information, you'll come to this screen. And then the next step is very simple. You're going to go into the sites section right here, and you're going to click add a new site. And then you're going to ignore these top two, import an existing project and start from a template. You don't need those. You're going to do this manually. You're going to deploy manually. And this will take you to Netlify drop, which is where you basically just drop the folder for your website that we built through GrapesJS, and it will automatically just do it all for you. You don't even have to worry about it. So let's go ahead and pull up our folder here. Make sure you make it visible. And then you just click the actual folder, GJS export, and just drag it and drop it. And then it will go ahead and do its magic. And then it will start processing. And as you can see, it's a simple website. Everything gets completed basically instantaneously. Next step will be go up to site overview. And then here's your temporary URL or domain name. Again, you need your own domain, such as the yellowbirds.com or the yellowhats.com, I'm sorry. Because this domain name is just not going to be great. This is a comforting Lebchuckin b1cd6b.netlify.app. You need to have your own domain, so no one wants to type that in. You can't really say that when you're playing a show to go to this website. It's just ridiculous. No one's going to be able to remember that. And then so you can just click that and look at that. The website's already there. It's online. Anyone can go to this and see the website. So if you share this link with your friends, you put it on your social media, it's all there. And it's good to go. Okay, so let's get back to Netlify. And the last step is you're going to want to set up a custom domain. So like I said, you've already got your Namecheap domain. You're going to go to custom domain. You're going to put your domain name in. I don't own this. Let's go ahead and try. I didn't purchase this actual domain, but we're just going to show you what it would look like if you're the Yellow Hat. You're going to click that. You're going to click verify. And then it's going to say it's not registered through Netlify, right? That's great. You're going to click add domain. And then, so what it's going to do is waiting for my instance, Namecheap, it's waiting for Namecheap to route the traffic, route your viewers to Netlify so it can show you our files, show you the website. So you're going to go and click where it says awaiting DNS. And then you're going to go ahead and go down to use the Netlify DNS. And DNS just means what we had just mentioned. Basically just routing, again, from Namecheap to Netlify. It just tells it where to send it to. So we're going to set up the DNS. And again, it's going to ask you to verify, add domain. All right, and then you just continue. And then this is what you're going to need. So I will go ahead and kind of show you how to do this. If you have Netlify, it's going to be the same. It's going to be similar for any other domain provider. So we're going to go ahead and go to my Netlify account. I'm sorry, my Namecheap account. I don't know why you keep messing that up. And so here's a couple domains I have. So we're going to go to the Weekend Gardeners. And you're going to go to manage. And this is where you're going to add name servers, which is the DNS records for Netlify. You're going to go back to Netlify. It gives you these DNS domain name servers, DNS. You're going to copy each one. There's going to be 4. And you'll go back to Netlify and you'll paste each one into name servers. custom DNS. It's going to have basic DNS, Namecheap. You want to change that to custom DNS, and then you're going to paste each one of those in, and just make sure you click out of that area, and it's going to go ahead and save that for you. But within a couple hours, your website, instead of it being this, netlify.app, it will be the yellowhats.com or whatever your band name is. And that's basically it. You've got a free website. You don't have to pay at all for this. Netlify handles everything for you, and GrapesJS will build it completely for free. The only thing you need is a domain, which you should have already. So this will save you plenty of dollars, $10, $15, $20 a month, whatever you pay for, Squarespace or Bandoozle, and it's completely free. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it helped you out a lot. My name's Sean Matthew Crawford. You can find me at SeanMatthewCrawford.com. You can also find me on this YouTube channel. So just like and subscribe if you want to watch some more videos from me. Previous video I did on how to practice drums without drums. So you're going to get the technical part of being in a band, working with a website, handling email, handling newsletters. But you also go into even more detail about coding and programming and how you can reinforce your band with your technical knowledge. And then also just drumming. I like to drum, and so I'll post videos about drumming and maybe some technical computer portions of drumming as well. So like and subscribe. I'll see you sometime soon.